My Masterclass. Now, today we're going to talk about how the black man can get rich. Now, you heard me. How the black man can get rich. Now, I'm not being discriminatory, segregatory, or racist. I mean, if we have to face the fact, we have to agree that the black man is at the bottom of the pyramid in wealth creation. And so we need more intervention than other races. We need more intervention than other races. And there is a reason, this is something that I've studied. I have created wealth for myself and others. And so I've studied why our people are this way. In 1983, at the age of 9, I was in a school in Albany, California. And then the teacher asked us about life insurance. How many of us had life insurance? How many of us knew if we had life insurance? And I had a couple of black kids in my school, but it was a mostly white school, and I was the only black child to put my hand up. All the other black children did not put their hands up. Now, this was in America. Now, I am a child of Africans, and my parents are from Nigeria. But then my parents had life insurance on me. They had we had life insurance, and it's not something that my parents started. Even my grandfather was, will I say, it's a king back in Africa. Something called an Olu. He's late now, and even before he was late, he abdicated. So I guess he was very enlightened, and then he did this for his kids and my parents. My mother, particularly, she did it for me. But you see, the average white Anglo-Saxon Protestant child has an average of three life policies: one from his parents, and then one from each of the parents, the grandparents of each parent. So, for instance, he's got one, a policy from his parents when he's born, and then like the father's parents, they take out a policy on him, and then the mother's parents, they take out a policy on him. So you see, in the Western world, the greatest wealth transfer isn't real estate; it's actually from life insurance or other forms of insurance. It might be an annuity, it might be something that the child gets when he's 18 or 21 or 24. But insurance is the greatest wealth transfer from one generation to the other generation. Not the next is real estate. So when your parents die, you inherit their house. It's a transfer of wealth. But here's the thing, with real estate in the Western world, when your parents die and before you can transfer it to yourself, you pay taxes. But for life insurance, in most Western countries, you don't pay taxes. That's the greatest form of wealth transfer. Now, here's the thing. Among black people, it's very, 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 very rare for people to have life insurance for their children or any form of insurance for their children. And that's sad because the vast majority of black people, we see children as an investment opportunity. That means we have a lot of children, and then when they grow up, they start to look after us. And we've got to change that mentality. We've got to change that mentality. We've got to see children as something to invest in for themselves. So, for instance, you see, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, when they have children, not only do they have life policies for them or annuities for them, they also start up a college fund for them. And then you talk about white Anglo-Saxon Protestants with Jews, especially New York Jews, it's even more, it's more thorough. I mean, with New York Jews, as soon as the child is born, the child also has a community life insurance. That's why it's almost impossible for a New York Jew to be poor. And so we need to start thinking that way in Africa. Because I'll give you an example. If you see a funeral or burial for a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant child or for a Jewish child, you hardly see people crying and wailing on the floor. Why? Because death is honorable. Because when your parents die, you inherit money from life insurance and from real estate. But in Africa, the reverse is the case. You don't inherit anything from your parents when they die, and you are expected by your parents' relatives to come up with a very huge amount of money to bury them. I mean, in Africa, we spend some kinds of ridiculous amount that we will not spend on education, that we will not spend on health, on burying people. So we don't spend on the living, we spend on the dead. And we've got to change that mentality. So if you're watching me and you're black, it doesn't matter if you're African or African American or Caribbean black, what I want you to do is this. I know it's likely that your parents did not have life insurance for you. Forget about that. Have life insurance for your children. Don't say, my parents didn't get it for me. Why should I get it for my children? You know what? You've got to be the bridge builder that breaks the pattern of poverty in your generation. So build a bridge from lack to prosperity, from poverty to prosperity. Have life insurance for your children. In every country on earth, every country, and I've researched this, there are insurance companies. And then, to get insurance cover for about $100,000, it is so ridiculously cheap. You can actually get it for less than $1 a day. That's the premiums you're going to be paying for less than $1 a day. So it's something that you should do for your children. Do it now. As you're watching me, when you finish watching this, pick up the phone, Google, find out insurance companies in your country, and then get a life insurance for your child. And then not just that, you see, with Africans, and not just Africans, African American, Caribbean American, a lot of times we are expected, to be our parents' pensions. And it's not as if, because this mentality has to die down, we want to inherit from our children. And even in scripture, we are told that children inherit from parents. It's not vice versa. But that black mentality, we got to change the way we want to inherit from our children. We want the children to grow and then to make money and then begin to feed us, begin to look after us. That mentality has to change. Now, my name is Ronald Mokri. If you've watched this video and you have questions arising from this video, put them in the comment section of this video. My staff are going to bring them to me and I'll do my best to respond to them. But you got to remember, I do not have a WhatsApp forum, a Telegram channel, or a Gmail email address, and I will not contact you in the comment sections of my videos asking you to contact me with a number. This is Ronald Mokri, the Apostle of Prosperity, saying God bless you.
But Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is